see how we can get live chat. There we go. Let's see what everybody's up to. I'm doing this at a different time than usual. I apologize. Pip Corona came over from his house in Arizona, and we stayed up so late last night. Morning. Hang on a second, guys. I forgot something. Yesterday. They launched it yesterday. I am going to send an email to the folks at Blade HQ today. So these will be available from vendors, but I'm not sure who yet. Morning. But I do know what map is on them. So map is 250. So look at them to be in right around the, I would say 260 maybe, so that the vendors can make some profit. I'm not sure how much they're actually going to be, but it is Ferrum Friday, and so it sounds so good. Ferrum Friday is not just something you put up on pictures. So you guys know what Ferrum Friday is. I don't know if you guys actually know what Ferrum Friday is. Ferrum Friday is it's like happy hour at the Forge. We all go and we hang out at the Forge and bullshit. You've seen the videos, but that's what when I say it's Ferrum Friday. I'm just saying that's what map is, 250. But like, I don't know what MSRP is. I don't know what they're gonna actually sell them for. So just keep your eyes open. I really don't know how. I'm hands off the pricing. I kind of figured that would be the right price range. But there's 3 different versions. There's a green one, a black one, a tan one. They're all G10 handles. They come with a sheath. And so, see, that's got to be hard to do, because I do know that Spyderco is one of those companies that just does not let you sell stuff under map. They don't. A lot of times you got to sign a fucking contract and shit saying you will not. Fuck, I hope Taz logs in, because I gotta tell him I still haven't sent him his fucking... I'm not doing it today either. Have you guys ever noticed, but there's a point where I've lost a little bit of weight. I got back on my restrictive eating regimen. Like, I only eat once a day, and I'm careful about what I eat, except for last night. Pip and I went to a restaurant just around the corner here. And I had a really greasy sandwich and everything, but what was it? So we went yesterday, and I had a Reuben sandwich with onion rings, and I suffered for it all night last night. But I don't think it was actually that food. I think it was, I think it's what I ate the other night that tore my stomach up. But I don't feel good today. But there reaches a point where you start to lose weight, where everything just fucking hangs weird because you've lost some weight. Like, I've seen videos of myself, and I'm like, holy shit. How is it that my man tits look worse now that I've lost like 10 pounds? How is that possible? So, and I am breaking my rules. I usually have no calories, period. Nothing but water or coffee. You know, I put some milk in my coffee, but like no calories until at least 1 or 2 in the afternoon. Then I might have like a Gatorade or something that's got some sugars in it. But usually nothing. But this morning I didn't want to make coffee, and I had 2 NOS. I love these things. It's chemical candy in a can. But so you guys saw I worked on a bathtub. It's done, but it would have to cure for another day before I could take a shower in it. But the fact is, there wasn't enough of that paint. And somebody was commenting, you can't refinish that. That is designed for fiberglass bathtubs. That paint and the setup and all that stuff, it's designed for fiberglass. I think Pip likes, what's the one he's got? Pip likes these ones. The Bang energy drink, Pina Colada. Don't get me wrong, it's not that I'm not a fan of coconut flavored stuff, but I don't like pina colada flavored stuff. I will drink a pina colada. So who else here? Who's here? Pip's, I think Pip's still sleeping. So, who else here? It's gonna be a nice day. But today is an important Ferrum Friday because, well, Pip's in town. That's one. And there's a specific other YouTuber that may show up at the Forge today that he and I are gonna have a conversation about a video where he's mentioned it on his Instagram a couple. You know who the fuck I'm talking about. Nick Shabazz might be there today. I think he's gonna show up. I'm gonna talk to him a little bit. But he came to visit Pip. He never got to meet Pip yet. So, so that's happening, and this is the last Ferrum Friday that our friend Doc Vince is going to be in town because he moves to Washington, D.C. next week, which I'm sad about. But the thing is, like, I never get to hang out with him because the times I'm busy all the time, and the times that he wants to hang out, it's not compatible. That's going to suck. We were supposed to go shoot, which I really need to do because I put a rear sight on that 44 Magnum, and I haven't sighted it in since then. I mean, am I pretty sure I could hit you from me to the front door? Yeah, but anything outside of that, I'd like to at least be able to put bullets on paper where I'm aiming. So I'm gonna break. Nick hasn't even got to see it, but here's the thing: Nick is not a fixed blade guy. We talked about it. I was gonna send him one of my knives, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm not a fixed blade guy." And I was like, I can get that. I mean, not everybody's. I used the shit out of this the other day. It got dull. I brag about their S35VM. It's pretty freaking dull now. I cut down a whole bunch of stuff with this, and because it works really well. And so I was slicing the stuff, and I was hitting. There was like wood supports in this one box and shit. I was helping my neighbor tear stuff down. This thing is not. It is not in the shape it was. It's not one I would hand off to somebody and go, "Hey, check out my edge." Like, "Hey, don't grab that one. That's not a good. This is not a good look. This one's stupid sharp." Oh yeah, there it is. So if you guys don't know, like I said, the Stonefish, we called them the Hornets before. They're the Stonefish now. They're in 20 CV G10 handles. I think, like I said, black, tan, and green. So if you want one, you're probably gonna. Yeah, I've got a, that's the 10,000 grit one I use is an Annual. They're pretty good. They're pricey. I think that there's some better ones out there, but you have to get the full size bench ones. Oh, it's here, by the way. It's here. It'll be the first thing I work on Monday. I have a knife for Chris and Elliot that I have to do this morning, and then we're going up to the shop. So, but what I was saying is, though, Best Tech also has a knife called the Hornet. You want a Ferrum? The actual Archbishop is a really good one. The spinner, and so I mean, basically any of them. The one I don't like is the Scepter. There's another one I didn't like. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. If you can get your hands on any of the old school ones, Archbishop, Master Blaster, those are fucking amazing. NTAC's, if you can get your hands on NTAC, that's a great little small pocket knife. And then Mordax is big, but you have to remember, most of those are going to be heavy. They really are. These are heavy. But I'm 6'3", 240 pounds. I can carry a heavy pocket knife. Yes, they're always working on new designs. I'm sitting. What? I'm sitting next to Elliot right now, and he's mad at you. He knows that I don't like. Now he knows. I tell him all the time. I was like, I hate the scepter. I do not like that knife. I don't like sharpening it. I don't like the way it feels. I don't like the blade shape. And Pip and Luke and Nico, they've had him take end tacks and put scepter blades in them. They call it a septac. And I'm like, why would you ruin a perfectly good knife and put that blade in? I don't like the scepter blade shape. I don't like the handle on it as much either. So they love them. I've sharpened their septacs for them. There's only 5 of them in existence. Pip's got one, Jesse's got one, Nico's got one, and I forget who the other 2. Or maybe I'm talking about the SM100 NTAC, that there's only 5 of those. I don't know, it doesn't matter. But Jesse had, yeah, well, I mean, because they were an after thing, that like he had a couple of NTAC blades, or a couple of scepter blades and some NTAC handles. So I think I still would have to say that like the best bet for having like a good best all around like knife is the NTAC. I really still think that this is like the perfect little hard use work knife. And I don't do the same kind of work. Oh, that feels great. I'm so sore. I don't do the same kind of work anymore, so I don't necessarily need to have this diminutive little office-friendly knife. So I carry a bunch of other stuff, but I still love this knife. This was the first Ferrum forge I ever got. It's been modified several times. I put a bigger choil in. Elliot put jimping on the flipper tab. I refinished this. I had to put an oversized top. I had lock rock, and so I did the oversized stop pin and all the work for it, and then did all the fit up to make it perfect all over again. That's what I went to get. Oh my goodness! And so if Jeff Cable happens to be listening, Jeff, I have your new knife that came with Pip. So I will give you a call after this and let you know. Make sure. Of course it is. Hang on a second, guys. Having problems here. Of course it is. You can't do it the same way that they do it with these in a production model. It's too work intensive. So the specs are different. The blade thickness, the pockets, the bearings, most of it is going to be completely different than their in-house models. But the quality's not going to be any different. But wow, this thing is dirty. So I'm not going to stay on here real long. I have to start getting ready. We're going to head up to the forge probably here in about 2 or 3 hours. And I still have stuff I have to do. I think we stayed up till 2. I think Jesse and I stayed up till 2. And then I got up at 7. Yeah. Just a little tired. Why? I love the Crux. I'm not saying that the blade stock on those is the same. Steel's different. Grind's different. I'm just telling you, it's like trying to compare a production knife to the in-house one like that is going to be different. I'm not saying it's not as good. I'm just saying it's different. It's apples and oranges. You can't compare the two. That'd be like telling 2 people to paint the same thing and then say, well, I don't want to buy that one. It's different. It's 2 different people's hands on it, but they did all the QC and quality control. They took every one of those knives apart. So I got no qualms with my Crux or any of those. I'll admit, but I don't like pocket clips in general. There's not many pocket clips that I actually like. Most of them I just think are fucking hot trash. And I know there's a lot of people that think that Spyderco wire clip is just perfect. That is my least favorite pocket clip. I hate those. That's a showstopper for me. If it's got one of those Spyderco style wire clips, I won't keep it. Even if I like the knife, I'm like, I can't. I fucking feels flimsy, and it feels like you're gonna lose it. Can't do a flip or delete on the crux. Elliot and I looked at it, I was like, I don't feel comfortable doing it. I'm like, I want your take on it. Look at it. And he goes, no. He's like, we made those. He's like, you got such a small lock face and it is so close because that's the way we had to design it for it to work the way we wanted it and for ease of production and all that. He's like, oh, whew, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I was like adjusting the camera and fucking thing fell and it just turned itself off. So yeah, I mean, there's things you have to do when you're doing stuff one knife at a time. You can pick and choose and play with stuff, but you know, it would take them 2-3 months to build up, you know, 100 knives. And so, because I watched them go through several entire runs of 200 in-house, and it's insane. It's insane how much work it is for them to build up, because they have to do each knife individually, because each knife may have little flaws and stuff like that. And so they have to work around that stuff, but it takes a very long time. You can't do it the same way in big scale production. There's just no way. You're making thousands of knives instead of 100. There's a reason that they drop back down to runs of 25 for in-house knives. Because you can do 25 knives, easy. It doesn't make you lose your fucking mind. And even that is a very fast schedule, because if you remember, I sharpened all the cons. There were constantly fucking cons at my house. The Ferrum Forge con, fucking constantly one at my house, or if not several. They'd text me and they were like, "Hey, we got 2 of them. Can you pick them up? Because we kind of want to get them out to the customer. They've been waiting already a while." So, I mean, I've got a customer's crux here that I'm gonna sharpen this morning before Jesse and I go. So, oh, that felt great. That bathtub, guys, what a nightmare. Well, I got news for you, Chase. They might already be gone. There's a good chance that you have waited long enough that there might not be anything except this stuff that no one else wanted. Like the ones that maybe weren't as popular, and then you're kind of just stuck with whatever's left. I definitely like this with the black. I have to do a video about the Lackey, because I have 2 of them here from Charles Anderson. I have to do a video about that. I had to do a video about that fucking Frederick Nico's knife. That bathtub whole thing. The whole fucking bathtub thing just fucking killed 2 days. Oh, and I'm sore. Exo set? No, is that the one that's the money clip thing? Is that the money clip with the switchblade in it? Can't remember. Yeah, I haven't seen one. They're brand new. I haven't seen one. I'll probably see one at USN if Jason McCoy is there. I need to find out if Jason's going. Because I didn't get to see him in Vegas last year because his wife got real sick. And Anthony Marfione was there and was taking his spot. And I talked to Anthony for a few minutes, but today I'm a few days late. I haven't given myself my immunosuppressor injections. I have to give myself a shot today before we go to the forge. It sucks. I was supposed to do it Tuesday, but I didn't pick my medicine up until Wednesday. And then yesterday I just didn't want to fucking do it. I just took some stomach medicine. My stomach's fucked up. I thought maybe it was because I ate something like last night, and I was like, nah, because my guts kind of were bothering me before, and now I'm like, today I'm like, oh God. Is it? I have an autoimmune disorder, and I have to take immunosuppressors so that I can, fucking walk and not be in crippling pain. 25. I mean, I'm in crippling pain a lot. That's why I smoke so much weed. But that is supposed to keep the immune response down. It's fucking horrible. So it's like having arthritis everywhere when it flares up. Not like, oh, my fingers. It's like everywhere. Hips, knees, back, eyes, jaw. Fucking my hands will swell up, my wrists will fucking swell up, and I stay on the immunosuppressors because it prevents the damage to all the joints. Yeah, well, that's rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disorder. It's just one that we've dealt with a lot longer than some of the other weird ones, like the one I've got. Mine's attacked my spine. Yeah. Well, Bruce, I put up a, yeah, that's because of the immunosuppressors. No price yet. Because they put up an ad, and they hadn't changed the name yet to the Hornet when they posted it, and I don't know I don't know when they're gonna put up the actual ad, but I posted on my Instagram. I posted all the pictures that they sent me, all 3 knives together and each individual one by itself with its sheath, and the broke down like what hardware you get with your thing, because these are reversible. Pain in the ass. I'm just gonna put soft loops on it. I'm just gonna order some soft loops and put on it for this one. But I have 2 prototypes which have the carbon fiber handles. Yeah, MSRP $294. Okay, yeah, that's kind of the range I was looking at for MSRP, between MAP and MSRP. So that gives dealers some leeway to play around with. The next knife, guys, is not going to be as expensive. The next knife is coming out will probably be the Scorpion, and I want that to be sub $100 because I want just the same thing. Like the production version of this, there is no carbon fiber. There will never be carbon fiber. I don't like carbon fiber. This stuff is attractive, but it is so slippery. The second your hands get wet, it defeats the purpose of having a camp knife if it's slippery. The prototypes, they told me they were going to do the prototypes, and I let them decide the steel and the handle material. So it just happened that I wound up with carbon fiber handles. But I have 2 of the prototypes, and I'm getting one of each of the production run knives. And I have a sneaking suspicion that I may pick one of those and do something special with it and maybe raffle it or something like that. And whichever ones I like the most, I'll probably keep, and then I may use one as a giveaway. I may use one as a sale. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But like I said, I also have the prototypes, and they are in S35VN, but I don't know if I want to get rid of the prototypes. I got rid of all my prototypes of all the other knives I own, except for the one that I gave my daughter, which is the Scorpion. I don't own any of those except the Scorpion and my prototype Necker, the Viper that's over here. That's mine, and it's because it has a flaw. There was something wrong with it. It wasn't really a prototype. It was. I mean, I already knew what I wanted it to be. But the fact was, I couldn't sell that one because it had a problem. It's the one that bit me. It's the one that I was trying to drill the hole in and it spun around. So it's got a hole that only goes halfway through it. That's mine. But it is the old school one, so it's a little thicker. It's a little bit different shape. It's not the current version, which the blade stock's thinner. The fucking grind is a little bit better. The shape of the back is a little bit deeper to get your thumb in. So it was one of the first few I ever made. So I do have some of those left, but not just like ready to go. If somebody wants a Viper, I could make you a Viper pretty quick, but it would take the there's some people that like the green. I'm not a big fan of green. G10, not really, but I do have one, Do you want to see it? Like, who's asking that? Who was that talking about? Nathaniel, do I have? Yeah, I have a lackey. I have a customer's lackey here that I sharpened. Wait, you want to see it? I'm going to do a video about it. But do you want to see it right now? I can go get it if you got a question about it. Hang on. Green one. This is the green one. And so I brought something. It's a neck knife. It's a small neck knife. It's no smaller than, in blade size, you're looking just about the same as the Gent, almost identical to the Gent in blade size, maybe just a hair smaller than the Gent in blade thing. And it's fixed blade, nice thin scales. It's a really nice knife. For like a necker, like a grab and go, it's a really good neck knife. And they are D2, they sharpen up real well. So they're a neck knife. They've got the chain and everything in with it, but they have mounting holes for soft loops in the sheath if you decide you want to wear it on a belt. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, it fits. I've done it with the Protos. Fits really nice in the small of your back to have a nice little knife there. So it wasn't meant to be, yeah, it's small, but it's small because it was designed to be a neck knife. So Elliot decided he bought soft loops aftermarket and just decided they were gonna throw them in. My friend Ashton, he's the one, he built up all the soft loops. He built all the snaps and attached them and all that stuff, and then they got them ready for the vendors there at the shop. He helped out because Chris was on his honeymoon, and I was busy trying to take care. I had a lot of administrative and busy stuff. I had doctor's appointment. I had to take care of a bunch of stuff, so I didn't get to help. I had every intention of being up there and helping, but it just didn't work out that way. So we talked about the NTAC. We talked about maybe I'll carry my Gent today. I haven't carried my Gent in a while. Oh man, that is fucking so sharp. So, but yeah, I knew that they were going up on their website, but they were up for vendors, and now they're probably up just for generals. Can you order directly from Wii's website, or is it just a list of products? I haven't looked yet. I have to introduce myself to the guys at Blade HQ today. I need to do that email and compose it, but I want to do it so that it is at least fun. Because Elliot's introduction email was hilarious. He's like, hey, Justin, meet Mike Emler. He's got a knife design. He wanted me to put him in contact with you so he could whisper sweet nothings in your ear. And I was like, I'm gonna be like, Elliot, you've known me long enough to know I never whisper. So I don't know how many were made. I don't know, like, this is probably a testing out thing. They only have one other fixed blade, but they have like 3 versions of it. So now they have 3 versions of it. I don't know if you can either. I just know that my 3 are on their way. But I will tell you, like I said, as much as I like everything about that knife, I would not really complain. The sheath. As soon as I get my 3, I'm gonna get with Matt and see if he's got the time to make me a couple sheaths for him. I'll keep the original. So if I do a giveaway, you'll get both. But this sheath just doesn't have the. It doesn't feel the same. And then Pip pointed out something that when you open it, it spreads there, that gap, and then it snaps shut. So if you get your thumb, it'll pinch you. I was like, I hadn't noticed, but he's like, yeah. It's like I don't think I can get any of my thumb in there. My thumb's too big. So it's a really good sheath, but it's not. It just wouldn't be the sheath I would keep. I don't think. No, I'm not doing that. There's a couple reasons. Like a couple of people there, like they're. I mean, I get it. They're private about their stuff. You know, their personal persona, and I don't like Nick Shabazz is gonna be there. Pip's gonna be there. I don't know if he wants to be on film. He's been on film-ish a couple times, but for my stuff. But the fact is, like, I don't want to have it be something where it gets uncomfortable because it's weird. It's really hard to film at the Forge. It really is. It's such a distracting place. When you get all of us together, it's just like you can't keep a coherent thought. It's just a big mess. It's like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. I gotta put this back before I forget whose it is. Be right back. So, yeah, I can't think of anything else going on. I can't think of anything else going on. I think, though, that, yeah, it's like, I told Nick, he said something about filming at the Forge sometime, and I was like, yeah, it's not, I was like, it's not a conducive to fucking having a real good video. I was like, it's a lot like Monty Python and Holy Grail, and he's like, on second thought, let's not go to Camelot. It's a silly place. I was like, yeah, that's a lot like what it is. I put up a post. I heard Jesse say it, and I put up a post yesterday about gun control. You know, that like no one mentions the fact that the crime rate 30 years, our crime rate is half now what it was 30 years ago. No one says anything about that. But all of a sudden, guns are an epidemic. And I'm like, if the murder rate is 30% less now than it was then, and more people own guns now than they did then and more people have guns now than they did then. There's more people and more guns than there were 30 years ago in the hands of people. And I'm like, if the murder rate's down 30, they're down half from 30 years ago, and there's more guns, then gun control isn't working. And so it was a picture, it was a meme, and then somebody goes on and they said something, and I was like, so I used a quote that I heard Jesse say. It's like, this is how it works. Let me explain gun control for you. It's the stupidity of it. It's the equivalent of telling everyone that, you know, we're sick of drunk drivers killing sober drivers. So the only way to make it work is just to make it illegal for people to drive sober. You're punishing the people that are following the rules. You're punishing people that have broken no laws. And the criminals are still going to do it. No matter what you try to do, people are going to drive drunk. No matter what you do, people are going to kill each other. You can take every gun out of this country. You know what? People be killing each other with screwdrivers and hammers. If you want to kill somebody, you're going to fucking do it. Having a gun not having a gun doesn't stop that. They could take away every gun and every knife in this country, and people would still find a way to kill each other. Kill each other with broomsticks and shit. It just doesn't make sense. It's like wiping before you fucking poop. It makes zero sense. They just, people are like, they get their heads wrapped around this whole gun control thing because they have an irrational fear of an inanimate object, feeling that as though it has some evil tendencies imparted into it. And I'm like, you know what? You know what that sounds like to me? Witchcraft. And that's the fucking stupidest thing I've ever fucking heard. But no, that's not what they want. So, and I make the joke, and people are like, you just don't understand, da 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 da. Oh yeah, somebody posted about, well, hey, we haven't had a mass shooting We haven't had a mass shooting in fucking ever, in years, because we don't have guns. I'm like, yeah, how about that? Oh, well, look out for that box truck. Yeah, the fucking people want to kill people if they don't have a weapon. They'll fucking run people over with a car. They've had mass attacks with box cars and fucking rental trucks and shit like that. I'm like, you're telling me that you're telling me you're not seeing a correlation here. You took away the guns and they just found another way to fucking do it. You're not seeing that your program's not fucking working. What part of your head doesn't work? That's not the reason for it. It has nothing to do with crime. I say it sarcastically sometimes. Gun control has nothing to do with crime. It has everything to do with you not being able to fucking fight back when they want to take over. Second Amendment is your last line of defense against tyranny. That's the way it was written. Now, do I admit we need specific certain things? Yes, taking away guns is not the way to do it. Making someone keep their guns locked in their fucking safe 24 hours a day, where you're not legally allowed to have them out of the safe, that's not going to do anything. You know what is? Aggressive, targeted crime enforcement. Regardless of color, race, religion, creed, you set a law and you let no violators. You don't, I mean, Chicago, fucking everybody's fucking talking about gun control. Chicago has the strictest gun control laws in the country, and they have the most gun violence, but you don't ever see it. You never see it in the news. Like, they had 46 people shot, 7 killed in the same time period that we had 2 mass shootings. You didn't see that. You didn't see that in the fucking newspapers or on the news. You know why? Because it doesn't fit their narrative of gun control working. You don't see anything coming out of cities like Baltimore, Washington, D.C., fucking, you don't see that in the news. What you see is they killed 6 people at a Walmart. What about the 46 people that got killed the week before? And I remember that was like the bloodiest, the week that they changed and made the Chicago crime laws, or gun laws, even more restrictive. The very week, on Mother's Day weekend, they had their bloodiest weekend, and there was more people killed in that weekend in Chicago than there were in any of the mass shootings. When the news did not have to fight for ratings, back when Walter Cronkite was around and the news was just the fucking news, we had so much more of an informed society. But punishing law-abiding citizens and saying, oh, you can't have that gun. Well, why? I'm not a fucking criminal. I have broke no laws. At one point, I did law enforcement duties. I was a cop. Well, why? You know, and they're like, oh, we gotta be careful, you know, fucking. They let me wear a gun every fucking day. But I get out and I'm a civilian, and they're like, oh no, you can't. You're not qualified to have that. What the fuck are you talking about? Half the people that are on police forces in the San Diego area, have probably helped arrange shoot for half of the law enforcement in San Diego County. Not necessarily directly, but I fucking, you know, like I was doing law enforcement training, but I facilitated them using different ranges when they couldn't use local ranges, and vice versa. It is ridiculous, guys. It is ridiculous. And here's the thing. I don't own. So the assault rifle ban does not bother me. I don't think it's right, but it doesn't affect me. Because you know what? The one gun I would not buy is a fucking assault rifle. They're historically less accurate. Which you get is a larger volume of fire. That's why the military likes it. You get a larger volume of fire. It's fairly accurate. But an assault rifle is never going to be as accurate as a tweaked out. I have a Tikka 243. Roberts 243 Roberts Tikka. It's a fucking tack driver. You can put 3 rounds through the same hole if you've got that thing mounted and you're fucking controlling your trigger pull. You can put 3 rounds through the same hole with that rifle. They're not. assault rifle bans, handgun bans, gun bans, fucking the fucking high capacity magazine bans, they're not gonna do anything. They really aren't. They really aren't gonna do anything. They may make it difficult for one or two people to stop getting stuff, but I got news for you. Criminals are always gonna find that shit anyway. Criminals are gonna find a way to get what they want, to do what they want, because they're fucking criminals. There is no impetus for them to stop. They are criminals. They are already breaking the law. What makes you think they're not gonna fucking break the law? The gun laws. It makes no sense. But they want you to be afraid. Don't be afraid. That'd be my parting, because I've got to go. I've got stuff I have to do. It's 10 o'clock. That would be my parting thought on this. Stop being afraid of inanimate objects. My knives sit on the counter all the time. Do you know what? Do you know what fucking people wind up getting killed with more often than not? The criminal comes in and grabs a kitchen knife out of their fucking butcher block and kills them with it. But I don't see fucking kitchen knife control laws. Can you imagine that? We'd all have to line up at shops and have to fucking bring our prep stuff in, and somebody chop it for us, and then we put it in a bag, take it home to cook. It's fucking ridiculous. So no, that would be my parting thought. Stop being scared. Don't stop letting America be fucking run by a bunch of bitch-made fucking pussies. So, all right, I'm out. I got fucking stuff I gotta get ready and take care of. Make sure Pip's not dead. I'll talk to y'all later.